Welcome to another video on my channel, and today I'm going to do my wishlist for the next game, which I am certain it will be Sonic Frontiers 2. Why so early though? Because we are still in the Frontiers hype zone, and with the updates coming like pretty soon, I think, I was like, you know what, let me do my predictions and wishlist for update 3 and the next mainline game. So this is sort of like a part 2 of this long video idea that I thought of. So let's get into it. I feel like the story should continue a couple of years after Sonic Frontiers and be the characters returning to the Starfall Islands due to the End getting revived at the end of the first game, and be a bigger threat throughout the game and not just a side character that gets a few lines and that's it. For Sonic Frontiers, I get what they were going with, given that the story is very different than what many people used to see from a good Sonic story. Instead of it being this high-tone adventure across the world, Sonic Frontiers' story is more grounded in reality and melancholic in a way that fits Sonic, but also makes use of the tone of the game that is loneliness. Now, it wasn't perfect, but it was a great stepping stone for what the future of Sonic stories should be. In Sonic Frontiers 2, I think that the story will be the aftermath of the post-credit scene from the first game, that being Eggman reviving Sage. I think that the consequences of him reviving her will be that the End will be back in a very adultish form of Sage, but this also meaning that the ancients will be back from the dead or from cyberspace. And if you think about it more, it makes sense. I feel like the story of Sonic Frontiers 2 should have ramifications on Sonic's character too. Now, I know this will be a hot take, but what if someone dies in Sonic Frontiers 2 because of Sonic's actions? I feel like this will be the hottest of takes in the Sonic community, but it will allow Sonic to grow more mature and realize that he needs to be careful with his powers, because with great power comes great responsibility. I also think that for the first 3 islands, that being Kronos, Ares and Chaos, I feel like they should continue with the themes that were presented in the first game, which were love, loyalty and responsibility, and becoming your own self. And for that comes the characters. Aside from the characters from the first game, there will be also new and more returning ones, which are Shadow, Rouge, Omega, Tango, Whisper and Styx. Yes, Tango and Whisper will be making their debut in a mainline Sonic game, while Styx will be in a major game for the first time since the Boom series. Kronos Island will obviously be about Tango and Whisper and them finding more about their relationship. Yes, they will kiss, don't worry Wispango fans. Ares Island will focus more about Team Dark's relationship. Ever since Sonic 06, Team Dark haven't gotten a good moment about them being just friends. So Ares Island will be why Team Dark's relationship is starting to crack and redeem the character of Shadow the Hedgehog. Throughout the 2010s, he was your typical edgelord egotist and everyone disliked that. So why not make his actions have actual reasons as to why? What if him realizing that he's the ultimate life form and being immortal means that he has to watch his closest friends slowly die, and so he tries to distance himself more and more to not feel any emotions towards them? That would make him yet again a three-dimensional character and would make him realize to live for the moment and try to be the best he can be, and at the end their relationship will be more stronger than before. I haven't really thought about Styx's character arc. She's the most random character in personality, yet also, strangely, one of the most likable. I watched most of the episodes of the Sonic Boom show and she was the MVP whenever she was in. Maybe her character arc would be in what makes her, her, why Styx the way she is. For Tails, Knuckles and Amy, maybe they could be a part of features of the returning and new characters arcs. like Amy for Whisper and Tangles, Knuckles for Team Darkseid, and Tails for Styx. Eggman and Sage's relationship will also be explored more throughout the game, and when you explore the islands you can do some side stories about the ancients. Now for the villains. As I said, the End returned in a adultish Sage form. It will also have a more prominent form in the game. You will have many fights throughout the game against her and one more character. That's right, for the sequel I'm bringing in Surge as a secondary villain. Now I know that as of recent she has been kinda overused. However, this appearance will come after an IDW arc once again about Surge and Kit. However, at the end of it, Kit will die and Surge will become mad towards Sonic and vow to him that she will kill him when the time comes. Once the End hears her say it, it manipulates her into joining her forces. I feel like Surge's arc will be like Thor's arc from God of War Ragnarok, but a bit more aggressive. Like she'll be more aggressive towards Sonic, and at the end she dies and feels happy because she'll be reunited with Kit, the one person she cared about most. And the final boss will be the characters against the End and they win. So that's the basic concept of the story and which characters will be in the game and their character arcs. For the gameplay, this is where the most changes will be seen. It will be a momentum-based gameplay and the islands will be styled with exploration with the main characters in mind, which are Sonic, Tails, Amy and Knuckles. They both will have their own playstyles to fit their personalities and characters. For Sonic Team would go for Devil May Cry, since Frontiers 1 draws inspirations from this series. For Tails, I feel like his movement and combat playstyle would be like Spider-Man, where he would explore the island's heights and use the gadgets that he has as an advantage for him to make the most of it in combat. For Knuckles and Amy, I feel like they would be more akin to the old God of War games and how they feel too. Amy will be lighter than how Knuckles feels, obviously. And after you complete the first 3 islands, you can play with the rest of the characters too, making Sonic Frontiers 2 having the most playable characters out of any game in the franchise. Now, how would you make the first 3 islands momentum based instead of how they are in the first game? Well, since the End is gonna be a bigger threat, there's also gonna be a war throughout the islands to make them obviously change more and be more momentum based. And the game will also combine Rhea, Kronos and Uranus Island into one whole island again. It will be explained in the game's story too. Big's fishing minigame will also return and he will have different interactions with whoever character is entering the minigame. The Titans will also return into Sonic Frontiers 2. However, these Titans will be created from the End and every couple of nights they will send attacks to Sonic to diversify the gameplay of the islands. Cyberspace will also return, but the stages will be all brand new original levels and will have mostly new and old aesthetics. There will be also levels integrated into the open zones. I mean, we already have seen how it works in the first game, but now it will be expanded upon to where there will be levels in between islands for transition and such, so that you are not stuck into a boring loading screen and actually do something while waiting to go to another island. However, it will be unlocked after clearing each island. Outside of the 3 islands, Kronos, Ares and Chaos Island, which will be changed drastically, and the one I predicted for Update 3 comes into the game, there will be a couple more open zones into the game. It's gonna be an industrialized dystopian city, ruled by the End, and your objective is to free the city from the End's scraps. The second island will be a story one, which is the End's home. It will be a mostly linear, but it will be still as open as it can be. However, the post-game content will include open zones of famous locations such as Station Square, Soliana, yes, we are returning to the Sonic 06 location, Mazuri, and Spagonia, and it will have both new and old levels. And yeah, these are my predictions for Sonic Frontiers 2. Leave a like, subscribe, and turn the notifications on. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Peace!